Hello, hello. We are talking about 5 kid-friendly money activities that you can do with your little ones up to teenagers. Last week here on Money Trends, we talked about what are the conversations you can have with children just to get the ball rolling, see where they're at with money. We got to approach them, meet them where they're at, not talk over their heads, bore them, but really get a taste for what do they think about money, feel about money, view about money. So you can go back and watch that clip. This week, we're talking about what are some activities to really engage with them and get them going. Money's virtual. Let's face it, money is virtual, and kids don't see money like they used to. I pay the babysitter virtually with Venmo. We donate online. How are they going to grasp this concept of money? For a long time, my daughter used to tell people, I just give money. Like, I just help people by giving them money. I would love to be able to do that, but it is a little bit more complex than that, Andy girl. So here we go. We're going to go through younger activities for kids younger to older kids, teenagers. This is all spurring because we have a new book, Financial Trendsetters Next Generation, and this is 12 kids, all whose parents are advisors or fellow trendsetters. So what are they doing with their kids? So it's going to be amazing. A children's financial literacy book written by kids for kids. Well, let's dive in. So the first one is something we do as advisors with parents, looking at buckets. So what is the bucket that we're saving money into, investing into, maybe giving back, using to live off of? If you are in retirement, there might be a legacy bucket. What's the money, the assets that are good to inherit? Same thing with children. So it could be piggy banks. Being an advisor, everybody gifted my kids piggy banks. So they each have about 4 or 5 big piggy banks. And we can do this with their piggy banks, where what piggy bank is for, 1 year money, something that they want to buy within the next year. Another piggy bank can be, we're going to move this money and invest it. And then another one can be their give share bucket. My kids right now, they love their camp because they go on field trips, they go to the pool, there's a snack bar. So they save up money in this spend bucket for summer camps. Then there's this other bucket where they're saving up for like a car down the road. Even though they're only 8 and 6, they're going to want a car down the road. And I'm not just going to buy them a car. They have to work for it. They have to save up for it. So that money we invest. And then there's another bucket where they pick where they want to donate to. My daughter might bring some money to the church, or if we're out, or we're very big with the pink out games for breast cancer, Play for K. Things like that they get to be involved with, and how they want to share their money with others to help other people. Okay? So that's the first activity. Simple. It could be envelopes. You can start with envelopes: spend, save, give, share, donate. Okay? And as that save one gets bigger, now we're going to introduce investments to it. Second activity, vision board. Doing a vision board with your children once a year is such a fun activity, especially in January. But get them thinking on the vision board, what's a need and what's a want? So they can start to differentiate between, while they might think that iced coffee every day is a need, well, it's more of a want. And prioritizing, we need our money to first save, second spend, and then what do we want down the road? So a need versus wants vision board, so it becomes visual. Kids are very visual learners. That's a great way for them to help grasp the notion of money and how far that money can go. And that brings us to activity 3, which is a budget challenge. I do this with my kids all the time. You get so much money every week, or you get this allotment. What are you going to do with this money? So let's say it's $20 a week. What are they going to spend that money on? So they can start to understand budgeting. That $20 only goes so far. What do we need to spend it on? Well, maybe I need snacks for school. I want a new water bottle, or I need something for the sports that are happening this week. Understanding, okay, that $20 just became $18 and then $15. We do this with school lunches. My kids love all the extra things at school lunches. And my bougie son started buying sparkling water for almost $3 every day. That's eating away at your allotment, and you love buying lunch, you're not going to be able to keep buying lunch. So helping kids grasp this notion. I recently spoke to my high school, Rutgers Prep, to their seniors, and we talked a lot about budgeting in college and what are the expectations? How much money am I getting? if my friends are going out to eat for every meal or Uber Eats, that's going to eat away at my spending money. I don't want to spend all my money in the first week and have nothing left until the next month. So helping them at an early age is setting them up for when they do go off to college. Okay. So we talked about budgeting. We talked about setting up buckets. Understanding needs versus wants is a strong foundation for young kids. Now as they're maybe in their 10, 11, 12, becoming teenagers, let's introduce the notion of investing to them. So an investing game, very simple. Give them an imaginary amount of money. Let's say it's $1,000 and they get to pick one or two stocks. They're going to research the stocks. Maybe it's stocks that they really like. I did this with my daughter. I was looking at Under Armour, not a strong performer right now. And then she loves Ulta, obviously all the skincare, all that amazing stuff. So I said to her, I had some money in your investment account. We're going to buy Ulta stock, and then we can look at it each day to see how the stock is doing. So I would report back to her, okay, Ulta stock was up, you earned $10 today. Up, Ulta stock was down, you lost $5 today. So she can get an idea that it's not this constant, consistent growth. Over time, how is it operating? So pick a stock, how many shares, and help them calculate what is their gain or loss each day. What was their original investment, and how has that changed for it? The fifth one, our kids are so entrepreneurial already. Isn't it amazing? It's crazy. So let's start a business. Let's look at a business and see what this looks like. I know one of the kids in our Financial Trendsetters Next Generation book, he has a business. So looking at, okay, there is the business, I believe his is cutting wood. What's the expense for that? Well, I need something to cut the wood with. I need my parents' parental guidance and oversight for it. Maybe he had to create a booth or some sort of place to have the wood to sell, and a jar that he had to buy or create for it. So starting a business, what are the income? What's the income coming in? What's the expected income? And helping them set goals. Okay, I want to earn $20 a week. I want to earn $100 a week. What does that look like? Then are the expenses. So a lemonade stand, my kids do one every summer. Grandma does all the expenses. She buys the lemonade. We have the table set up. They create the sign together. And what do I do? My understanding, if they made like $200. It's crazy. But to purchase everything was $50. Okay, well, instead of $200, I earned $150. So understanding, we have the income, we have the expenses. What's that profit look like? Too. A lot of fun starting a business. My daughter's very money-minded. She now wants to run the clock for this basketball league that I'm a part of, and she can earn $20 a game. Pretty easy. She's already going to be there anyway. So last night, she had to learn how to run the clock. So she didn't get paid for that. That was training for her. And if she shows up and she's committed, then she can have that job for next season. So it's great for them to be oriented in that frame of mind of, I work for this, I have to do it diligently, as the Bible says, as Solomon says, and be committed to seeing it through. So starting a business, what's the income? What's the expected goal income? What are the expenses? What's their overall profit? And helping them track it over time is going to be a really fun activity. So 5 things, starting from setting aside money into buckets, budgeting, needs versus wants, then moving over into investing and starting a business are all different things that you could be doing with your children now. It's not going to take up a lot of your time or their time, but introducing it as part of the conversations around the dinner table when you're in the car with them, get them thinking about these things, and it can change their world. Next week, we're going to talk about actually building a financial plan for a child. Well, helping them create their own. So setting up a goal. What is their saving amount? How are they investing it? What's their time frame? That's a plan. So doing it with something small, and then you can add to it over time, is huge. So maybe it's starting with, we have 3 goals. One is, I want to get a new bike this year. And then in 5-10 years, a new car. And then off to college. We have 3 different goals, 3 different time frames, 3 different buckets to set aside money into So how much are we saving into each of these buckets each week, each month? And how are we investing it? Shorter, more conservative, shorter time frame, more conservative, longer one, more aggressive. It's gonna be great. So I'll see you next week as we talk about creating these financial goals, plans for children, and that they can evolve and grow with them as they evolve and grow before your eyes. I will see you next week. And don't forget, tomorrow night we have another episode of Women Behind the Millions on E360. I will see you there. Bye.